Bye-bye.
All right, isn't he getting fired up?
So we're live yet.
Welcome to Up on the Bars discussion with your host, Roy Bain.
Well, we're live here on a Thursday night. This is going to be crazy night. I don't know what's going to happen as this goes through there because, number one, give you to in the top right corner, you got Jammin' J. Bryant coming on there from Sacramento, California.
What's
then
happening?
Brian Cooper's down there on the bottom in the Josh Combs shirt there, hiding over there, chewing his gum, being quiet. But then we have the mouth of the West Coast, the godfather of racing, Jerry Mr. Controversy Bartlett. But anyway, I have to go through what Stacy read real quick to make sure that we cover. Jerry got himself all fired up for tonight. He called me last night, said he's going to bring out all of the big guns tonight. He's bringing the big bucket of crap with him, so he's going to stir it up. So I had to tell him he took his, as she said, his Jerry tall. Said plus he took the OFAR pills plus an added dash of Red Bull Ecstasy and a drop of Extends, Laughing Gas, Gas X, and Provigil Genius Pill. It's all a winning combination for Jerry Mr. Controversy Bartlett. So, JB, you got all loaded up tonight.
I'm all loaded up. I tell you what, I've been sick with the flu the last 4 days. I've been on the shitter all day today, so Brian's stuck next to me, and that gas may start coming out. You never know. You never know.
So we wanted to all get together tonight because lots of stuff getting ready to happen. We're already getting blown up. Hey, Roy. Hey, Jay. Jerry. Brian looks so cozy. I don't know who said that already, but they're already saying y'all look nice and cozy there.
Well, it is cold, you know. So.
All right. So Tom Tilford corrected me. Is it the godfather of racing or the grandfather of racing?
Oh, yeah, it's for sure. It's the OG. That's my number this year. OG. Original gangster stock car. Don't everybody fucking forget it.
I'm setting down with this guy, or I'm not going to be able to sit next to him. His head's already big enough.
All right, so I have to give out the parental advisory tonight. This may be an X-rated commercial when it's all said and done. I don't know what JB's going to say next, so just be prepared. There may be some strong language. I don't know who said it, but it says, you know he means business when he put pants on. So, JB, you got pants on.
Yeah, I know. The only I do is in my chonies, and that's it. So I had to get dressed for this one.
All right, and then somebody else just added on great-grandfather, more like it. So there you go.
Not yet, but close.
The crowd is getting deep here.
You know, I tell you one thing. I'm probably not going to be the fastest guy out there, but I am going to be the oldest. 65 years old and still running with these young guys. So we'll see what's going to happen. We're going to lay it down hard this year, too.
Yeah, that was my wife that said, you know he means business, he puts pants on. So the wife's coming out of left field, too.
And you're out of town. She knows a lot about me. You've been gone a lot.
Yeah. Hey, you know, when you're there, could you at least pay a bill? That's all I ask. It could even be the small one.
Yeah. He said you're out of Dr. Pepper, so remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Josh Combs says sick sweatshirt. So see, you already got the fans chiming in tonight. So there you go.
All right.
Josh Combs going to get to working on our logo design and stuff and get them trophies done. Get that paperwork done.
Yep. So, Josh getting called out, right. So we brought everybody together. It has been a long, shitty winter, and it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
And then Josh said, shh. So there you go. He's shushing you. But now we are on the cusp of starting something big. That is the 2023 racing season. We got Jay Bryant, owner of Speed Union, right here with us, coming on here. Title sponsor, Jay's Mobile Welding and Fabrication and Speed Union TV for the Tristate Prostocks. Title sponsor for the West Coast Hobby Stocks as well.
Yes,
So,
I don't get any work done.
yeah. So he's making the rounds. We should call Jay the Godfather of racing. He's connected some way or another to everywhere. He does a lot for this, so we want to make sure. But in 2 weeks, we are kicking off the 2023 season for the West Coast Hobby Stock Tour and the Tri-State Pro Stock Tour all together, along with the Dwarf Cars and the West Coast Sport Compacts at a place that I have to give a lot of praise to, because when we started the Tri-State Pro Stocks, we're going to get into all this as we go, was the first track that signed up to let us run, and that's Tony Nassetti. He didn't know the first damn thing about us and said, okay, yeah, we'll put you on there. And then he offered us some stuff, but we are going to the Stockton Dirt track.
Yeah, that place is bad.
That place is big, it's fast, a great racing. Tony has been working a ton on the Holden 1 and 2, moved the track just a little bit, got it smoothed up towards the end of last year. Great facility for racing. I can't tell you enough. And then on top of it, we got Richard Vandervloed joining in saying, I'll be racing Pro Stock, so no tech on the hobbies, a big smiley face. Yeah, so there you go. So this race right here, in talking with Tony this week, I got to tell you, between what y'all have entered into the West Coast Hobby Stock Tour, with Richard Workman coming on saying if we get 20 plus Pro Stocks there, it's $300 to start for the Pro Stocks. So we're looking at that. You got the West Coast Sport Compacts. Everybody knows what the Dwarf Cars are. We are looking at a very strong possibility of 100 plus cars there with no IMCA and no sprint cars.
Right.
How cool is that?
No, IMCA is cool by itself.
Yeah, I don't disagree
Fuck
with that
IMCA.
statement. Yep. Yeah, that's
Yep.
just a joke. You know?
So, yeah, Stockton, Tony, when we started, I was back with this tri-state stuff with Gordon Russell, and I don't know if Gordon come on yet as he was going to try to get on tonight and see if he tagged in. Has he said anything yet?
He hasn't said anything yet, and I sent him an invite so he can pop in if he gets it.
Okay, well, we're kind of hold off on talking about Gordon Russell until a little later. Maybe we get back to him on some stuff we want to talk about him. But, in this tri-state, like Roy had said, the tri-state stuff started, and we started when Brian and I did the Sport Mod Tour, which was another great success that we did against IMCA. Fuck IMCA. They tried to shut our tour down. They think they had the power.
Oh, they didn't try. They did. They did shut it down. Yeah.
Well, they didn't shut down the year we did it, but they went after our license the following year to keep us from doing it again.
And the tracks. They went after the tracks.
Yeah, we went after the tracks also.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
But we beat their ass the first year. We got our tour. Great tour. Great turnout. This hobby stock turnout's going to be the same way. We're 50 members paid, strong already, and not everybody's joined yet that we know is joining. So we got a good tour here. And Tony come on board, just like Roy said. Tony is tits up friggin' promoter. I mean, he come on board 100%. He lays the money out there. He don't talk the talk. He walks the walk because he pays the money. Well, he don't care if 5 cars shows up. He's still paying you for the 20-car field. That's the way this guy is. He's a racer's promoter for sure. Biggest track on the tour. Biggest track, I think, other than Calistoga is the only track that's bigger, I think, isn't it? In California? Probably.
Hanford's almost the exact same size.
So one of the biggest tracks in California, and he does a good job. He does it. It's just friendly. He's a promoter that comes around and talks to you at the racetrack. He comes up, thanks you, he bullshits with you. He wants to buy you a beer, and when you're racing, he wants to buy you a friggin' beer. The guy and he pays you when you're done. You don't get screwed. I've never got screwed from him. I always even paid him. So that's a good deal there. I don't know which way you want to go first, Roy, but we got a lot of shit to talk about. So on our end of it. Because we want to clarify a lot of the rules, the procedures, and the no bullshit is going to go on this tour. Just like the Sport Mod Tour had no bullshit. This one's going the same way. So I don't know where you want to go, or you lead us on how you want us to go, and then we can start yapping whenever you're ready for it to open up.
All right, my wife says, and it's her birthday on that Sunday, so she gets to spend it in Stockton. So she's excited about that. So
Damn,
Yeah.
that's a hell of a thing to say. I'm gonna stay in Stockton.
Well, compared to Klamath Falls, that's a metropolis. So there you go. All right, so let's get started with this. I've known JB since 2015, and he had to bring this up last night how we met, and that's fine. I'm going to give JB some props right here because he started doing his videos.
What's up,
Got me,
Facebook?
yes, it's Facebook. So he started talking a little trash to the Oregon Prostock, so I chimed in and we flicked him a little crap on there. He kind of the one that got me into doing these videos and posted it to Facebook. That's kind of where this all got started. And when we started up on the bars, JB was the first guest.
Yeah.
He was the very first guest. So there you go. And Misty, hey guys, Misty from Medford, Samantha's mom says hey.
Hey.
So I met JB at Wairika at the very first Billy Geyer race. He shows up, talked all that trash. Yep. For months, just talking shit to us. And he shows up in a station wagon. He thought he was going to be big dog up there, right? So we had a couple of little young drivers that put him in his place at Wairika. Just got to point that out.
Was that your nephew's station wagon? That one, Marysville?
No, we had the original station wagon.
Okay.
They did a different deal later.
Okay.
But no, the kid, what the hell is Leroy, right? Leroy, that's the name?
Jeffrey Leroy Hudson.
Kid, he still is. He's fast as hell. He's in a sport mod or A mod now, and he's kicking the shit out of everybody everywhere he goes. He's good. But they talked this shit at Wairika, and I put up with it. Then it came time for them to roll into Marysville against our wing cars, and they had big tires, big everything, so we said no wings. So I made a bet with his dad for a bottle of Crown Royal that I'm kicking his kid's ass at Marysville. He ain't coming my track and beating me. So they rolled in there, and they rolled in, no wing, but they had a spoiler on the back of this sumbitch that was 90 feet. It was huge. It was bigger than our wing. So we let them run it just because they hit the gray area, and I appreciate people that do the gray area because I've been known for that. So they fit the area, and when the race got over, I was just coming to lap his ass for winning the race.
Now, I'm throwing the bullshit flag right here. I'm throwing this bullshit flag right here and standing up for Leroy. He finished second or third, and his right front tire wasn't even touching the damn dirt. Not even the right front. Had a broken control arm, and he was still coming for JB.
No, he wasn't. I know one thing's for damn sure. I took the first place trophy home with the money and the bottle of Crown Royal.
Yeah.
But no, that kid, I tell you what, he's a wheeler, no doubt about it. He's good. He's good.
Well, and Dave Everson ended up picking the win up down there at Wairika that first year. But that was, I bring that up because that first race at Wairika, JB met me after I'm laying upside down on the front stretch at Wairika.
Rolled his friggin' Prostock over.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him afterwards. He was set up. I looked over. I seen some skinny-ass Okie dude leaned up against the fence on the ground, the dirt, and looking at his upside-down race cars all smashed. That's how I know he was. That's how I met Roy Bain. So, So, Roy's done a hell of a job in that Tristate thing. I didn't realize that him and Gordon and the late John
Fighter.
Fighter that he died a couple years ago. But they run. I remember messing with Gordon, and I remember we rolled up to just kind of get off course. The Tristate stuff. If anybody don't know Gordy, when he walked up to me in the pits at Fernley Speedway the first time I ran in there, and the first time I met him, he rolled the truck right up in the middle of the thing and stops and gets out of it. And next to him, I'm looking at this dude. His friggin' neck was as big as my thigh, and his chest was almost as big as my chest. His arms. I mean, goddamn, I thought Hope Jr. just jumped out of the truck. I'm thinking, what the hell did I wrong? He shook my hand about squished it and said, I'm Gordy Russell. I'm saying, holy shit, you're not what I thought you were. So I didn't badmouth him no more after that. So, but he did a great job. I had talked to him in a few years. And I called him last night before we did the show to see if he'd maybe come on the show, at least come on and read comments and stuff on the show about it, because he's the founder of this Tri-State stuff. And then I guess that Roy was pretty much in there with John too, and I realized Roy was in as much as he was, but Gordy worked his ass off. to get this Tristate like it was. I mean, big time. And he backed out. Now he's doing some other issues in life, but he was a promoter. So Gordy decided he's going to start promoting the Tristate with videos. He said, "You're going to do my first video night." I said, "Okay." So I got on. I watched him. Oh my God, dude! So I called him out and said, "Dude, take your goddamn tie off. Loosen up a little bit. This ain't so friggin' serious. Have fun doing it. This is fun. It's not like you're a sportscaster on friggin' ESPN." So then he got really good. He really every week he did them right there in his shop. He always made sure his race car's behind him, and the dude he did a good job, and he had fun with it, and it was a good deal, and it ended like everything does. Eventually it ends, and then Roy took the line, and Roy's taking off this. I mean, he's busting his ass. Jay can attest to that. I don't know how Roy does it, and a full-time friggin' truck driver going Oregon to friggin' LA.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how he does this shit. Way too much. Then he got hooked up, with Stockton. Now he's running half the show there. So, yeah, Roy's done an amazing job, and he was another one very good on these videos to start with, but he sure has improved too. He's like a natural now. Shit, he's like
he's like.
That's
what I was teasing when he was getting you guys logged in. I'm like, this from the guy that didn't know where the on switch was.
Exactly.
He's like, copy and paste this, put this there, puts this there. I'm like, holy crap! Look at that. Well, that was the first place I met Roy too. Was Stockton, dude, the first time ever. And JB, you were telling me about the Tristate deal and how you could run any rule you want. I was like, man, that thing sounds pretty cool. And then. Yeah. I think you pointed Roy out to me, so I talked to him and said, "Hey, if you guys need help with this, let me know. It sounds like it's pretty cool." And the rest of that's been history with all this stuff too, man. It's been
now
good,
you guys got a big business venture going. You guys are rolling in dough. So where is JB's commission?
Well, you need to put a profile together for that.
Yeah. Another one's Jay. Jay don't get enough credit. Also, Jay Bryant. He helps everybody. I mean, it don't give a shit if you're a racer against him, and you guys go for a championship, and you got a chance of beating his ass at the championship. He's still going to help you out. That's the way Jay Bryant is.
Yeah, thanks, man.
With everybody, the track promoters and racers. Period. Great guy. I'm in the wrong business because I even started doing welding business because I don't have money to spend. I don't know how the hell you do it, but unless you're dealing drugs on the side or something, I'm not quite sure how you do it.
I can't afford that. I can't afford that.
So, this brings up an interest
for jail. I'm too pretty for jail.
Yeah.
All right. So bringing that up, what you just said, JB, I have to give this a discussion about Jay this year too, because he's already told me. Jay has bought a nice trailer, and everything for this season is going to be there. So all your racers, if Jay's trailer is at the track, you're not going to miss it.
You won't miss it. Definitely.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean
logo. This. No logo.
All right, he's going to have his plasma cutter in there. He's going to have half of his machine shop in there, welders, sheet metal. He's bringing everything to the racetrack. If you break something and you need something welded, go see Jay. Do not be afraid to walk over and say, "Hey, I heard you're here, can weld. Can you help me weld this on my chart?" He's bringing extra metal to fabricate clamps if you need to, whatever. He's coming to the track this year to support racing and race. And everybody if he's at the racetrack, now keep in mind he's racing, so he's not going to not race, but he's going to be there to help you. So if you know how to weld and want to do it, he's got the stuff available to you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always say I'd rather beat you on the track than in the pits, And I'd rather have you beat me on the track than me beat you in the pits because you couldn't make it. We all work our asses off all week long on these cars. Well, some of us do. Some of us show up at the track the way it was, how they left last week. So, but, you don't, you work all week and then you get there and something breaks and you just spend all that time, energy, and money, and now you can't do nothing, man. That's annoying, So I wouldn't want that. So if I can help, I'll help. If I got it, I keep nuts and bolts in there, all kinds of shit. People come over. I've given out wheel studs before that I had in there. I don't care. It's like, what if I got it, you can have it. If you can replace it later, replace it later. If not, I don't care. I just want people to race and have a good time.
Yeah, Jay is a racer at heart. It takes people like Jay to build the sport of racing. It takes people like JB to get out there and run his mouth.
Oh, yeah, I love it when you
help build it up. Mark Garner says, "What up, guys? Good old JB. Tom Tilford, Jay's awesome. Go 92. Sean Binion said, "Yes, he does," talking about Jay. So,
yeah.
So I just wanted, you got on that subject and I want to hit it out there because Jay wanted to make sure everybody knows he's going to do everything he can help us at the races. If you're racing with the Tristate, he's planning on making every race this year. So make sure you take it up.
And Jason's timber is so big, his hauler, that he has all that machine shop shit there and 2 cars and his golf cart fits in. That's how big his new hauler is. This thing is freaking massive.
Yeah,
it's bigger than my semi-trailer, so we're just going to leave it at that.
It's a massive hauler.
Well,
he's got a pole in there, silver pole.
Yeah, the wife is super happy with the toter because it's got a slide out. She's got room, and she got grandkids that go with us and stuff. So she's real happy with that. That we raced Antioch last year, and we had Sean Benyon and my buddy went with us, and so he's in the front seat, and the wife's in the back seat of my Dodge pickup, and we had 2 of our grandbabies with us, and she had half of her ass cheek up on the door riding down to Antioch because there wasn't no room, and I was like, I can't have that. So, I was just going to get a trailer, and she was like, nope, get the whole thing. So, I mean, she's on board more than I am, and her car this year because we want to get back to the West Coast tour and talk about all the stuff you guys got going on, but her car's just about ready to go, and I told her, you're going to have fun. She goes, yeah, because I ain't driving. Like my wife, she's like Miss Sexy Stacy. She wants to ride. I mean, my wife is a ride or die for sure. She'd rather me drive and her just hang out in the passenger seat. She loves it. So I'm like, all right, so that's what we're gonna do. So it'll be fun.
James Anderson just asked, are modifieds running March 18th at Stockton? No, they're not.
No.
We are running hobby stocks, Tri-State Pro stocks, West Coast Sport Compacts, and the dwarf cars. Yeah. James Ford says, damn, I need to find a car for this deal. Jerry, work on Tammy's for him. And that's from James Ford.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now let's get back to, we're going to bring Bryant into the discussion now as he's getting awful comfortable on that couch. We're going to get him up off the bed. So I met Brian I've met him at the track briefly or whatever, but we kind of met and talked for the first time at Reno. He come over there to start this ball rolling. Well, now he got to see exactly what we went through the first year with the Tri-State Pro stocks. So tell us how that.
He's getting ready to leave. He ain't want to talk. He's getting ready to leave. He's going to say, Jerry just shit his pants. He's got to go. Watch.
I did. It got closer to it. You know that?
Yeah. All right. So, Brian, tell us what you've adventured out with this, because starting this tour has not been an easy thing for you.
No, yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. I mean, it makes it easy with all the people willing to help out and sponsor. I think the timing was right, kind of like the Sport Mod tour that we did.
Yep.
Sport Mods needed it at that time. Obviously, IMCA put a hurting on that, and all that whole deal that happened was kind of a mess. And I think the hobbies are in the same boat right now with there's a real good car count at a lot of tracks. It was tricky with the whole rule package, how we're doing it. Just, you're not going to be able to get all these tracks on the same page.
That's unfortunate.
And I understand why the promoters want to keep their locals and help. I mean, I get it. They're helping pay the sprint car purse and all that stuff with all the hobbies, and it's part of business. I understand it. I do think some of the tracks should pay a little more, but it's going to be real good for the class. I think it's not too many races. I think the amount of races is about perfect. All the tracks that come on board are really pretty much all the tracks we wanted. We had several that wanted to come on board that we just couldn't make happen because of rules. Placerville was one of them. Would have loved to have Placerville. Couldn't do that. Couldn't make that work. Same with Susanville. Yeah, that was another one. Just, maybe in the future, if this keeps going and works out good, it's a lot of work, but I think it'll be worth it, just like the Sport Mod Tour was.
Yeah, Devin Coranda said, preach it, pay the hobbies. All right, so I'm going to go back for the last 3 years. Every year, as we get towards the end of the Tri-State season, I have 2 to 3 phone calls saying, why don't you start a hobby stock tour?
Yeah, you were telling me I needed to do that.
Okay, so I'm not saying that. I don't know hobby stocks. I mean, I like to watch them race. I like the Camaros. I like all that. But this brings me to the point that I'm going to make. Exactly what y'all did. Y'all followed the same kind of simple philosophy we did when we started the Tristate deal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much pushback you've got. I'm going to tell you, I remember telling the whole story of the Tristate. Gordy called me at about 5:30 in the morning. It was right after the big Billy Geyer race at Wairika. And I was like, man, we should do, 4 or 5 races, put some good money on them, and just bring all the cars. It doesn't matter if you're from Bakersfield. It doesn't matter if you're from freaking Arizona. It doesn't matter. Just say, hey, bring your car. If it's legal on your Saturday night race at Bakersfield, Southern Oregon, Petaluma, if it's legal to those rules, we'll take your car to those rules. Let's make this a simple thing. Let's bring everybody together and see where they shake out. Because everybody's like, oh, well, you can't go raid Bakersfield because you got a J bar and we only allow Panhard bars. JB knows what our cars in Oregon were at the time. We didn't have a damn thing for anybody in Bakersfield. But damn it, we had a J bar, so we couldn't go run. So then Gordy goes, well, let's do it. So my next question was, how the hell did we do it? Dude, I didn't know anything. I'm new to racing, don't know a whole lot about how to do any of this. So we jumped in with both feet. That's when JB got hold of Gordy, or Gordy got hold of JB, and they made that video. Earlier that day, my wife had made the Facebook page for the Tristates. By the next morning when JB came on there, I'm going to brag on JB for a minute. She's like, pardon my language, what the F did you do last night? I was like, what do you mean? She said, my phone went off all night long. And we went from like 10 members to 200 members literally overnight. She's like, it didn't shut up all night long. It was like, what did you do? So we brought JB on here. That's what we did. He ran his mouth, and then the very next day he got on the phone to Tony. And literally the next day he had the deal set up with Tony. And Tony went to, JB was talking about how big Gordy is. Tony drove from Stockton to Reno to meet with Gordy because Gordy lives way out in Wendover, Nevada, or wherever, way on the other side, almost to Utah. So they met there in Reno, and every time Tony thinks about Gordy, he brings him up. He's like, that's the biggest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life. He's like, God, he would just hurt you. And if you don't know Gordy, he was an MMA fighter, and then he was a power lifter, and he power lifts. I think that dude could bench press like 380 pounds. I mean, his arms are like that big. He looks like Popeye. So, but yeah, that's how Tony always remembers is Gordy. Every time we bring up the Tri-State. So, what y'all did is for the hobby stocks is what we did for the pro stocks. So, Brian, how many people have told you this isn't going to work?
No, we haven't really had. We haven't had anybody really tell us it's going to work because we don't give a shit what anybody thinks. It's hard to work. And we've done it forever. I've done this for 47 years. He's done it for 20-something. We know what works and don't work. The problem we're going to have here is the tech guy, which is Richard Vanderboot, the tech guy from Marysville, and he don't fuck around in Marysville. You DQ'd. This tour is the same way, guys. Don't roll in this tour thinking you can come here and cheat because you're going to get caught. And you get caught, you're busted. That's a simple fact. So if we want to talk about tour, I think people are having problems. We still get people saying, where do I find the rules? Where do I find the rules? That's our biggest thing that we're getting, people saying, where do I find the rules? Okay? So it's on our West Coast page, West Coast Hobby Stock page. The rules are right? the 7 tracks that we're racing at. Marysville, Chico, Petaluma, Antioch, Merced, and Watsonville, and Stockton. Those are 7 tracks. Only those track rules are allowed. That's the only rules we're doing. Okay? Stockton doesn't have a weekly show, so they don't have a set of rules. So they're going to go by Antioch, correct? Or Merced?
No, it's just.
Well, I thought Stockton was going to go by what you picked.
A set of rules. Yeah. So you got to use one of the other 6 tracks.
Right.
We got a binder that's going to have every member's name. They're going to sign right next to it and put whatever track they're following for the year. You're not allowed to switch during the season. Once you declare that rule package, you're stuck with that for the whole year.
Yeah.
Now, you guys had mentioned before too on the A pillar, putting a track name on that. Is that something you guys still want to do on the A pillar? Like if we're going to run Antioch, you have a cross on your A pillar, Antioch, so Richard knows by looking at that car and look up the rules.
Well, we're kind of mixed on that. I want to do
Okay.
that. Brian kind of don't care, really want to do it. I
Okay.
think it's a good
Okay.
deal
It
myself.
don't matter to me. The way I look at it is we got the binder,
Yeah.
and that's
So
what
your
I'm
car
using
number
the
is what you're going to
area
use.
at every
Okay.
race, and
Yeah, we have it.
I
Okay.
mean that's
So
it is what it is.
you know, we're gonna take top 3 cars, and then we're gonna pull a random car in out of top 10. So don't think you're gonna sandbag and finish 7th or 8th or 6th and not get tech, because you may unluckily be brought into tech also.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be 4 cars come to tech.
That's perfect.
Okay. You're gonna
Yep.
roll across the scales where the scales are, and at that point you're coming to my trailer and Brian's trailer, and our trailers are separated by one stall, and the top 3 or top 4 pulling that stall between us, and it's parked. Your cars are put in between our 2 trailers, and ain't nobody going in there. It's getting blocked off. Anybody goes in that pit area, that car is DQ'd. They lose the points and the money for the night. More money and points. We cannot. Okay, so everybody knows, whatever track we're going to, we are visitors at these people's track. We are invading their track with a shitload of cars to race against their guys. Their rules, you know, well, not their rules for the night, but their officials. The flagman black flags you. Don't come crying to us. We got nothing to do with that. The scorer doesn't score you right. Don't cry to us. We got to do that. They're scoring. They're flagging. Their officials are officiating. We're teching and we're paying. That's what we're doing. And then every night we have bonus giveaways, drawings for everybody that's there. A tire's given away one night. A wheel's given away a night. A $200 tool of some sort off of the Mack truck from David Larrabee's going to take away every night. And we had one other thing, didn't we?
Ryland.
Ryland's giving a gift certificate. That's every race. Those 4 things are getting a drawing done and done. You're getting paid every night cash. So if you finish
The
third,
bonus money will be a cash envelope
from us,
you, and then you will get the track. Whether they pay cash or send you a check, you're going to get the tracks first. But as long as you're a member, you're going to leave
with bonus
in the A main. You're going to leave with an envelope with cash on top of the purse from the track.
Yeah,
so I think it's almost $15,000 that was given away bonus money at the races, the 7 races.
So the tour's given away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not counting the regular purse. Yeah.
And at Stockton, y'all are actually going to do the payout at Stockton too, correct?
We're doing the payout for the Stockton track also. You'll be a total.
You'll
payout.
get 2 envelopes. You'll get a track envelope from us and then a bonus money envelope from the tour.
And we're going to go off of Marysville's pay raise for the base.
Yep.
So Marysville base is what you're going to pay to Stockton, and then our bonus.
So
our bonus
you come to Stockton and win that race, and you're not a member, you're only getting $175. If you're a member, you're getting $175 plus $325
to make $500 total.
To make $500 from us
total.
Because all our races are $500 to win and $100 to start.
So 500. So it's going to be 500 to win, including track and West Coast, or 500 just West Coast.
No, it's together.
Yeah, so it's going to be 500. If you win the race, you're walking away that night with $500. So if you're a member. So if Petaluma says for a number pays 200, the West Coast is going to kick in 300. So you're walking away with 5 if you are a member.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool. That's
And
clear as day.
Let's just say somebody finishes third that isn't a member, they're only going to get like at Stockton, they would get $100. Well, that would be, let's see here, there would be $200 bonus money. If that's not a member, that $200 goes back into the pot for the tour, for end of the year, for the banquet, for paying Richard, the tech guy, for stuff like that. So that it will all go back. Me and Jerry aren't making a dime off of this thing.
No, you guys have always been good about that.
Now we're on this point that he just said Jerry and Brian are not making no money. Jerry and Brian are busting their ass doing this shit. Jerry and Brian both have jobs also doing this shit. So my proposal is a 65-year-old old guy. Okay? My proposal for me is this. Okay? If I don't make the A main, I want a friggin' provisional. I'll start 20th place every race.
Nope.
What do you guys think about that? Call it in.
Not happening.
65-year-old man trying to get out of racing, wants to try to make an A main every week.
Load your junk up and watch that in.
So
And don't you guys forget, I got a tag man in my pocket.
Yeah.
he said that you're paying him $1,000 a night for tech. I just got the message from him.
So,
All right, first one is first vote is no.
no. I'm
Not
gonna make
no, but
all
hell
the
no.
anyway, so don't
No,
matter.
it just says nope. So I'm gonna throw in here that somebody else just said bullshit. Load up.
Yeah.
Then I get no fucking way.
Yeah, well, there we go. See? I'm not saying love me.
So
You guys all remember, you guys all got a left rear quarter paddle. I ain't used to using it.
so I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents for sexy Stacy Race Devil there. JB just needs a provisional because he doesn't have his fairy wing to keep up. That's all it is.
Provisional any way I get it. I'm fat, I'm ugly. It don't matter to me. I'll take a provisional any way I get it, boys. But yeah, I'll tell you what.
Is it JB or DW? I think they're calling you the mouth.
Yeah, no doubt, huh?
Right.
Then somebody else just says, I just got here, I'm 65. What do I get?
Get a car,
Provisional.
come race it against the
If you talk to Jared, he might give you some Geritol. He brings it, this Viagra.
Yeah, so you know, one thing guys talking about this tour is we're not qualifying nowhere, no time trials. Everything's on heat race draw, everything's on the
Draw, redraw.
we're gonna do the asshole procedure how we do it the IMCA way. So it's gonna be a draw redraw like that. So boy, I tell you, ticket's gonna be very draw good because the heat race is gonna be real important starting up front. There's a lot of goddamn good hard hitters in this tour. There's gonna be some good racing in this tour. There's some good cars and good names in this tour. So if you make the A main in every tour, then you've done pretty damn good for yourself.
Yeah, but you can't let those hitters scare you either. You know what I mean? Other guys that are like, well, shit, I'm just starting out. Like, you know, my buddy Sean, you know, Mr. Mike Honcho himself. So he's got that written on the back of his car. So, but it's funny because, you know, it's like he's just learning. And I'm like, dude, he goes, I go, jump in, dude. That's, you know, I mean, it's all good. You know, I mean, these guys, you know, it's a combination of everybody. You know, there are going to be some guys there and you learn a lot, dude. If you race, you know, you race your local track and you're the best at your local track, it's like, and you don't race anywhere else, well, you're the best of that group. You know, you're not the best. I mean, that's why I travel as much as I can travel. I want to race against the best because you'll never get better. Yeah. You know, not to be, and I'm not, you know, don't mean to sound like a dickhead, but if you race mediocre people, you're the best mediocre driver there is. You're not the best driver. You don't learn, you don't grow, you don't learn anything more, you know, and if you don't race a different track, and don't let the track scare you. Stockton, people get scared at Stockton because it's so big. It's like, but bigger tracks are actually easier to drive. You guys, all of us here have driven. You know, a tight, short track like Placerville, you got to react fast, and there ain't a lot of room. So a track like Stockton, there's more room. You're carrying more speed, but you have more room to make your moves, and you have more room to get out of the way. You have more time. It's actually easier, I feel personally, to drive a bigger track. You know, so. And the racing's going to be good. There's some great drivers. There's people that are up and coming. I mean, the camaraderie with the hobby stocks, because everybody that knows me knows I'm a hobby stock guy at heart, always will be. That's why I love that this happened. If I had more time, Roy tried to talk me into doing this years ago too. And I'm like, I just don't have the time. And so if I did, I would have loved to have done it too, because the hobby stock crews are really good guys and gals. You know, there's a lot of female drivers out there that are badass. You know, you got Misty Wilborn at Antioch. I mean, there's some drivers at other tracks with females that they get out there and get after it with the boys, and that's all great. I love that stuff. You know,
Cross to Watsonville.
You know, I mean, you've got all kinds of drivers, and everybody helps. You know, I mean, the hobby stock guys are always helping each other. You know, so it's good. You know, I mean, it's a good camaraderie. It's a great group. I mean, I've seen a lot of the names on the list that are out there this year for this tour, and man, it is going to be a blast. We're going to make as many as we can. My goal is to win the championship for the Tristate this year. That's my goal, and you know, a lot of our races are tied up together, so it's great. You know, we'll bring 3 cars, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Since JB stirred this up, we're going to go through the comments now because they're coming in quick. We got a list.
Oh shit!
Ken Winland, no. Todd Gomez, bullshit. Load up. Stephanie Waugh, no fucking way. I don't even know Stephanie, but I got that. Kim, I can't even pronounce it. Raiji, Is it JB or DW? Michael Birch, I just got here. I'm 65. What do I get? You already got the wrestling belt from Antioch, Michael Birch. Yeah, you already got yours, sir. Yep. Congrats, by the way. Stacy, a senior senile citizen provisional for JB, and is there a bonus for the fattest, heaviest co-pilot that wins? Doug Broderick, JB must be feeling better. He's talking shit, LOL. Ken Windland, C main, B main, A main. Davey Munoz, hey guys, I just got home. Hi, Mr. Jerry, and to all. Sean Binion, Shake and Baker, Jerry. I think he's trying to imply your fire suit's not going to fit. I don't know what I'm taking that. Stacy, Jay is 100% facts. Joseph Gillock, if a non-member finishes in front of you, do you get scored for that position?
No.
Yes,
no. Stay where you're at.
Paid for your position.
You get paid for your position. You don't.
I think they're wanting to know in points.
You get 30 points. You finish 30, you get 30 points. You get 30 money.
Yeah, wherever you finish, you get those points just because it's not a member. And that's the same with the trophies. We get a non-member that shows up and finishes second or wins or top, because we're giving out trophies to the top 3 at every race. So, I mean, if you win the race, and even if you're not a member and you're not found illegal, you deserve the trophy whether you're a member or not. So you'll get the trophy and all that.
You just won't get the bonus money.
Right. No bonus money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Todd Gomez has a question for you.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Here we go. Says, I'm starting out. Do these guys have any advice for me? Now, Todd, I'm jumping in here because I know you were the subject of a few of JB's videos talking about how he was going to beat the Gomez's. And you parked next to me, and we got to listen. I got to listen to JB act like a chihuahua over there in your pits, and then you got his ass whooped. So we're just going to point that out right now.
If you guys want to know more about Todd Gomez, go on Todd Gomez's page. Look at his profile picture. It's a picture of me and him at Antioch. Come and check a flag. I'm just about ready to laugh his ass. He keeps saying I'm second, but I was getting ready to laugh his ass at the flag stand, and he got his profile picture. That's how much respect he knows the JB kicking his ass.
So I'm seeing a recurring theme about his delusional mind here. He's always ready to laugh somebody.
He's always laughing somebody. I was just going to say that. So,
So I know that the Coopers made a shirt that says, "We beat JB." And it was passed down to another person that said, "I beat JB," when the Youngs pup whooped him out at the Marysville Championship in a station wagon, no less.
Yeah, he broke an axle, though, JB's defense, right?
No excuses.
No excuses.
Well, you guys are fucking hard on this old guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But get it right, Roy. The teacher said, I beat Jerry Bartlett and everybody else was from Todd. Bryant's brother. The championship, Chico, and he did. But I had the t-shirt out first, not only myself, but Philip Shelby, that said, we beat the Coopers. The Coopers were friggin' unbeatable. What year was that?
17, I think.
I was going to say 18, I thought, you guys were killing it.
Friggin' everything. They had a horse up their ass so far you couldn't. They won everything, right? And I beat their ass one night, and Philip beat their ass one night, and we had shirts made up. We beat the Coopers. That's where it all started. So,
well, and I remember the Coopers rolling into Medford. Brian don't remember, but he welded some part, or let us use his welder to fix my Prostock at Medford. So that's how far. He doesn't know that I know him way back then, but they let us borrow a welder out of his to weld up some parts at Medford. That's how long I've actually known them. But they rolled in there and won everything up there too. I remember that.
That's the same year, man. They were on a streak. They could not be beat, man. They were just. That horseshoe was stuck up there.
That was our sport mod and their hobby stocks, right? Both.
Yeah, you were doing hobby stock too.
You guys were doing hobby stocks too, right? Yeah, you guys were killing that too.
Yeah, and I remember both of them were so mad in Wairika that they were about ready to get put in jail down there too. I don't know what happened down there, but I remember that too. See, I knew about the Coopers way back then. So.
Well, the Cooper and Bartlett's feud went back to the 70s with his dad and me. And it was awful. We were definitely by far the Hatfields and McCoys. There's no doubt about it. We couldn't go to a race and not get in the house with each other. When the race got over and everybody had top the grandstands, they knew the fighting was in the pits. The Bartletts. And then this son of a bitch sneaks around with my daughter, my oldest daughter, and they end up getting married. Now he's my family member. I'd fight with his dad Saturday night. He'd be on my freaking couch Sunday with my daughter. I'm thinking, what the shit is this? You know. So, but he's a good son-in-law. He's good. He doesn't show me any fucking waiver on the racetrack. No, he'll move me out of the way like anybody. So, but no, they're good racers. They're cheating sons of bitches, but that's cheating cougars, you know. So, but that's just what it is. But that's all right.
Yeah.
I've stayed legal all these years and tried to keep up with them the best I can. Like
Yeah, JB, I'm throwing the BS flag again because you're the first one in tech to go, I know that son of a bitch is cheating because he passed me and I'm cheating. That's your tagline, so don't even lie.
You know, getting back Todd Gomez, you know, Todd Gomez, another Jay Bryant. That dude will help anybody. Another
Gomez is badass.
Yeah, we've had so much fun racing him and I against each other in street stocks and sport mods, and we tried all kinds of shit on these street stock years ago. 20-inch springs in the left rear and all kinds of shit trying to do. We have a good racing rivalry with each other, a good one. And but he knows who the better man is. I won't say, but you know, he knows. Just look at the profile picture. I'm going to laugh his ass. But to be honest with you, he did beat me that night on his profile picture. You can see he was unloaded already at Flagstaff. I was still up on the bars trying to catch him. So, but yeah, it's good. But, you know, get back to the hobby stock thing a little bit here, seriousness. We put this together not because we need the money because we ain't getting nothing out of it. We put it together because, and there's not getting rich on it. We ain't paying $1,000 to win like you guys at Prostock are. You know, you guys are paying good money. We're paying good, decent money, good money compared to what the tracks are giving now.
Yeah.
But the reason for it is it's one race a month. So you got 3 to 4 weeks to get ready for another race, to get your money built up to travel. The guys that never go nowhere, they get to go to 7 freaking racetracks now and race. Total 7 different tracks, different people, different outlooks. Not the same Joe Blow you raced every week with. Go the same guy. I don't know how I'm going to pass him because he does the same shit every week. Push them, turn one, I go under him. Or you go under him, he comes down and hits you. Now you're going to 7 tracks, 7 different places, 40 other people that you don't know. It's going to be a kick-ass deal for a lot of people that don't get to go race a lot. The guys that are going to be, I don't know how to call it, the field fillers, you know, not the guys that are really going to kick everybody's ass. They're going to have the most fun because that's guys that are trying to kick everybody's ass. We're not going to have as much fun. These other guys are going to have the Joe Blows or your buddy get into it, go to 7 different tracks.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
But
So, JB.
Also, that, we got 7 different tracks, but strongly encourage everybody to support their local track. Because I can promise you, if all these guys only race these 7 races and all these tracks on their weekly programs lose their car count,
well, it'll be 3 racetracks to run.
There won't be a tour.
Yeah.
So you've got to support the tracks, even when it's not a tour race. You know,
we went to that Reno Promoters Workshop thing. I never want to do that again. God damn, we were only there for 3 hours. 3 hours we were there. We came, we got our room, we did our shit. The snow came, we burned rubber the same night. That 3 hours was enough for us to try to get organized with everybody to where, but we did it. And the tracks, these other 7 tracks all worked with us to make it happen to where every hobby stock driver in these 7 tracks, you could run your points at your tracks all year and hit every one of our tours, and you won't miss a race. We made sure of that.
Yeah, that's how you guys did the Sport Mod Tour, and that's what made it really great, too.
And that really was something we really worked hard to do. We appreciate the promoters for doing this.
Well, I got to tell you, there was some
all the promoters, because that was eye-opening at the workshop.
Wow.
This year at the Promoters Workshop, there was a lot of effort went into working with a lot of different people. Doug Lockwood, with all this stuff. I got put into a unique position with Tony at Stockton and working with all of that. That was a lot of work went into working with Antioch. So Harvey Balestrini Jr. has something to say right here. So now we're going to get the real story.
Uh-oh.
It says, JB is a good man. He bought us dinner after almost lapping him on his track. And I know that was with Mike Learn's car.
Mike Learn rolled into town, and I can tell you, I remember the race, and I did buy dinner at Denny's afterwards. No problem. That wasn't a problem. He took the big trophy home. But in my defense, no bullshit, I lost brakes with 5 laps to go. So I couldn't run as hard as I had to. I think I still tapped him with the flag stand. He didn't lap me. I think I still tapped him. And,
Now, Bryant, you've been around in this. We've heard about this rivalry. Every time he get beat, oh, my brakes went out. Oh, my axle broke. Oh, this broke. Oh, just your fairy wing fell off. Just say it.
I think everybody's forgetting the best person we could ask is Miss Sexy Stacy that's riding with them every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we can get the truth out of that. You know.
Yeah.
So
I tell her I don't have no brakes, baby. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So now I got to tell you, Stacy on the in-car camera is one of the funniest things you'll ever witness. If you go to her page, she's got it on there. She gets very excited in that car. That's all I'm going to say. Very excited. And she talks more shit than JB does, so it's pretty awesome. If you want entertainment.
Don't get offended when we go by and she don't give you the finger. She will out the window. We're definitely.
Oh, that's my wife, dude. My wife does that same shit. She's yelling and screaming, and her arms out the window too. Like, you know, people are banging into us. They're going by, and she wants to climb out the window net at them. It's like, sit down.
Yeah. So Sean Binion asked a question. Tire rules. Follow the track you choose. Correct.
Well, yeah, but every track's G60.
Yeah.
That's the only tire rule.
What about Watsonville? Weren't they Cooper Cobras, or did they go over to G60s?
Hey, Watsonville's a tricky deal. What they're going to G60 Hoosiers, but Watsonville's going to let them run this year on the little ones or the G6, the Cobras.
Okay.
Okay, but the tour will not allow anything but G60 Hoosiers at the races except Stockton. Stockton agreed to allow Watsonville to run the Cooper tires at that race only. None of the other tracks are allowing it. You go to the other tracks, you have to have Hoosier G60 tires, period. Other than Stockton and Watsonville, the two tracks are only going to do it.
So Todd Gomez had a response to you, JB. He said, off the bars, LMAO. He's just telling you.
I said he was off the bar. See, I gave it up and said I got second to it. I was fifth place when we took the green on a white, yellow checker, but that don't matter. I got the second up his ass. The other lap we'd have had him. How's that go?
Yeah, so Todd Gomez says he's looking forward to her double barrels.
Yep.
So Joseph Gillick said she gave me the finger. So there you go.
We went to a track, Marysville or Orland or somewhere we were racing, and we were on a yellow, and a dude pulls up next to us with, I think, a yellow nose piece. She thought it was one of our buddies. She reached out, gave him the finger. He went up farther. It was a guy we didn't even know.
And I know Stacy well enough to know she was down there like this afterwards. She didn't want nobody to see you. She's like, I didn't mean to do that. So.
Yeah, she would apologize to him. He just laughed. So, yeah. So,
all right, so
the tour, guys, we are going to tech. And I'm sure people are going to sneak through with some bullshit because they got so many different tours. Rich is going to do the best he can do. But we are going to tech hard, and we are going to DQ. Your DQ penalty is going to be no points for the night and no tour money for the night. We can't do nothing about what the track does, because if we DQ you, then and the tech has no tech people but us, then realistically you're DQ'd for the night, period. But the track will make their own calling on that, because we can't say, they may say, no, we're going to let him go. I don't know. That's not our call. All we're doing.
So on that note, and this is something, I always think about is, people get twisted, right? I mean, they get caught, they're pissed off, they're embarrassed, or all that, so they make a big stink. So maybe it's something you guys need to discuss among yourselves and come up with it. That you get DQ'd, you get explained why you're DQ'd, and you sit there and start arguing and getting mouthy, and your crew gets mouthy that you're not allowed back for one of the next tour race or something. I mean, you got to do something because, dude, lately people at tracks have gotten so out of hand, man. I mean, guys are just losing their freaking minds out there, and I just don't get it.
We discussed that very strongly, and our Sport Mod tour was. And we announced it at the pit meeting. After the pit meeting, we stayed everybody, and it was straight up not in English. You motherfuckers are going to fight. You're done.
Yeah.
If you go to somebody else's pit, you're done. You're not tour member no more. You're done. You're out of tour. Yeah. So if somebody comes to your pit, everybody listen good. If somebody comes to your pits and starts shit and starts fighting, get your fucking camera up, start video recording it, and bring it to us. I got to have proof that they did that. If I got proof they did that, Brian and I are kicking them out of the tour. They're done. Not that night.
You got to realize we're
guests.
Like the normal official that's not racing. We got to get our cars ready. Yeah. We're racing. We got to deal with pill draw and setting lineups and, all this stuff. So we're not just roaming the pits and going to see all this stuff. But we absolutely want none of it. I mean, period.
You're done.
don't plan
One of
on
the,
joining this tour and having fun, we don't want you to be a part of it.
Yeah, because it's going to be a good time. It'll be a great time. Yeah.
and that's one of the same things with the Tristate. We tell them every time in the pit meeting. If you don't like a call that's made, come find me, whatever. I will listen to it. I don't know that I will change it, do anything about it. We'll listen. Do not go to a track person. Do not go to a track volunteer that's out there to help you to go race that doesn't get a damn thing but a hot dog out of the pit stands and talk shit. Don't. It ain't worth it. Do not do it. Most of those people that at work are teenage girls or teenage guys that they don't need your bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And on the same note, there may be a time that if, let's say after a heat race, somebody gets heated and go to another guy's pit area causing drama, you may not even know that you're DQ'd for the night because we don't have the authority because it's not our track. We can't park a guy. That's the track call. But we're also not going to go up to a guy after a heat race and say, hey, dude, you're out of the tour, you're losing your no bonus money, no points, and let them be able to still make the A main and go out there and just cause a bunch of carnage because they're pissed off. So you may, if you cause drama in the heat race, you may not even know you're out till after the main event. And we might say, hey, no, you did this in the heat race. We got proof. You're done. You know, that's just, we're just not going to deal with it. And
and there's no gray area. There's no gray area.
Especially for me, that's my biggest thing I'm worried about. I don't want to have to, none of us want to have to kick anybody out, but we're just, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's out there trying as hard as they can. Everybody wants to win. I mean,
JB don't want to jump in there with
the night, load it up, and come back next time.
Yeah, JB don't want to jump in there with his walker and try to break it up. So you got to be careful.
I called local PD. That's also I'm 10 days older than me. So,
somebody says, can they groove their tires?
If your track rules allow it,
rules, which most of them allow it because they can buy the used one from the sport mod guys and A mod guys.
Yep.
The most tracks are allowing it.
So again, you got to pick your track rules and read those rules, and that's it. It's that simple. It truly is that simple.
And they got a little bit differences. I mean, each track's got a little differences. Marysville's got a vacuum rule and a compression rule where the other tracks don't. Marysville lets you run headers, aftermarket pedals, but no floater rear end. But now Chico rules are going to let you run Marysville rules, and they let you run the floater rear end this year. Marysville just not going to do a floater. I talked to Dennis again at the last play day. I said, thank you for letting us have a tour. Our tour is going to be the final night at Marysville at the taxi cab race. It's going to be killer. It's going to be badass. And I said, Dennis, you're the only track in California left that does not allow floaters in a hobby stock. And his words for me was, I'm never putting floaters in a hobby stock as long as I got the track period done. And I didn't talk about it again. He's solid on it. So he's got something against floater rear ends. But that's what it is. His track now. So, he makes the call.
All right, JB, Harvey comes back, says, we have an excuse, too. You came over and distracted us, and I didn't get to make all the changes I wanted to do to the car. I told Mike bad news is I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, so you're only going to win by a half a truck instead of a full truck.
The
or half track instead of a full truck.
If Harvey would have made more changes, he may have made him worse than beat his ass in.
Yeah. And Stacy. Then Stacy says, oh, God, y'all are embarrassing me, LOL. But, Jerry, we have broke a lot, and the steam coming out my ears and the naughty words out my mouth proves it. Jerry is a badass and has caused me to drop a nugget a few times in my fire seat. Jay, Emily, and I ought to get in a car together. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, I'm down. We'll let the girls take it. Hell, yeah. So Emily will drive her around. She can drive Emily's or shit. Who cares?
Right. Jerry Mijo Quintana. I could bring up lug nuts, but we're not going to. He says, if someone comes to our pit to fight, I'm not getting my phone. I'm taking care of business. So, Harvey...
Somebody comes to your pits and wants to fight, and you fight, then you're not the one in trouble because they came to your pits. So, you got to defend yourself if somebody comes to your pits. So, that's it. Somebody lays hands on somebody, they're definitely gone. They're not even spoken to. As far as I'm concerned, they go to jail.
So here's somebody I don't know, but apparently knows JB because there's a name in here. Sean Halsey says, better take jack handle from Guy Bean.
Yeah. Rainbow does at Placerville. Yeah. It was the old yard dog. Had his shirt off, tucked in the back of his pants, had Jack Hill on his shoulder, and he was going after Dan Brown Jr. So, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go over tonight, but we're going to keep going. Ken Winland, I know you sent me some questions for these guys, and we're going to get into them. I talked with JB earlier this morning about the one about wanting to put on an enduro. So I'm going to take the answer on this one because I know where we all are with all this stuff because I was asked about doing the hobby stocks before. Jay's been a part of that conversation. Dude, if you want to have an enduro, get hold of JB and find out track promoters' numbers. Put it together, brother. Make it happen.
Well, you know, Tony would probably love to have it at Bassetti down at Stockton.
Yeah, but all of us, you have no idea what it's taken to get what little bit of what we're doing going. We can't put another iron in the fire at the moment. So that's on that one. Dude, I'm all for it. I think they're cool. I know Rich Denman down there in Bakersfield loves to run the enduros. That's a guy you might talk with you. You may see him at a tri-state race this year or whatever. Talk with him. He goes back to Texas and Iowa and Missouri and all for those. He's a guy that can help get that off the ground. And I'm just saying, hey, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not putting my hands in that pot, and I don't think these guys are either. We have our hands full.
Right.
So on the 7 race series, are there any throwaway races?
No,
No,
don't throwaways.
we wanted a throwaway, but we had a couple tracks that were kind of against it. And so this year we're definitely not having a throwaway.
Yeah, the tracks they were against, they didn't want their track thrown out, which I don't think their track would have got thrown out that was against it. But I like the idea of a throwaway just because everybody has a bad night, but hopefully everybody has a bad night. So Brian didn't like the throwaway. We kind of bickered back and forth on that. I like we did the provisional. But
So you lost both times, Jerry. You lost both times.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, you were lapping him. That's what it was.
He was lapping him.
Yeah.
He didn't beat the Coopers in this one.
No.
Yeah.
So also, if the race in Stockton does not get rained out, Ken Whitland is going to donate $50 to the purse. This could be a challenge to the other racers to do the same. Cool idea. Anybody wants to add an extra $50 to those guys, go for it. Same with the Pro Stocks. We'll gladly do that. The race for the Pro Stock is going to be at least $1,000 to win. If we have 20 more cars, it'll be $300 to take the green flag, and that's courtesy of Rick Workman and the guy sitting right across the screen right there in the 92 hat. So yeah. Now let's get into everybody's love of racing. We're starting to see something, and I'm going to put JB on the hot seat. He's not going to like this very much, but we're going to call him out. We already said he's the godfather of racing. But as we're all going out to the races, we're starting to see a changing of the guards out here on the West Coast. And I don't know if you're noticing. You mentioned Dennis Gage. This past year, we lost John Soares. JB has a long history with John. JB's talking about getting kicked out of the racetrack. John Soares kicked JB right the hell out of his track. Said, "Go home, dude. You're out." I know Tony is getting to the age where he's getting kind of tired. So now we're starting to see people like the Penfolds took over Willamette Speedway. You have Heather, who's taken over the Grove. You got another younger group of promoters that just turned the racetrack at Roseburg into dirt from asphalt. Chad's a younger guy, kind of my and Jay's age. Rick at Petaluma. You got Peter Murphy that's in that age group. What are your thoughts, JB? Are you starting to see the changing of the guards to the next generation of promoters? You got Sweet and Larson over at Chico.
Yeah, I think the problem we're having is you're going to see that the promoters aren't going to be coming no more. We're going to lose racetracks because fairgrounds are getting so tough to deal with because state run, state owned, and it's getting tough. Everybody keeps thinking I'm going to throw my hat in the ring to be a promoter somewhere, because I'd be a hell of a promoter, I think. And
I think so too.
I would do it in Marysville because they're a non-fairground track.
Yeah.
And I try to get get James Castleberry, the owner of the track, which was Senate's son-in-law, to go together, and we do like 6 races a year, big money races, and that's it. But he's got other things he wants to do, and they got the flea market. I would go together with one promoter that if he wanted to, and I would go with him in Marysville, and that'd be Rick Faith from Petaluma.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely bring back the Rebel friggin' flag for damn sure, but that's just a joke between me and Rick. But yeah, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of people I'd go with a promoter with to do. I just want to do public relations. I'm not getting out on the tractor, and I'm not grading the track, and I'm not watering the track, and I'm not doing that shit. But I'll walk the fence bullshit. I'll do public relations. But after going to the promoter's workshop, that 3 hours we went to for the first time this year, and I don't know how the promoters do it. They need a pat on the back. So I tell you what, trying to get their shit together, they got to do, and just a little bit of bullshit that we've seen with the 2 tours that we've done, and the questions. I'm not going to say dumb questions because there are no dumb questions because everybody's got a question. It's not a dumb question, but all the questions I feel people should already know that they still ask. I don't know that I would want to do it, and I look at promoters a whole lot differently now. I'm not going to help them like I used to because it's a different scenario. Everybody needs to sit. There's 2 things everybody needs to do. Everybody that does a race needs to get a passenger seat of a hobby stock and go for hot laps. And your prospect, just in hot laps, not even a race, your outlook on a race car will be totally different, I guarantee you, than being the grandstands, being a grandstands driver. You're going to see a whole different light of what happens out there, how fast it happens, even on hobby stock. Getting the late model, getting the friggin' Prostock, getting a sprint car happens 3 times as fast as a hobby stock. But shit happens fast. People don't realize it. Everybody should have to ride in a car. That's why a lot of the top drivers that are in this hobby stock class, we're not in here to come back from late models, all the other shit we race to come down and beat up on nobody. We're here with our grandsons, our granddaughters, our wives, our girlfriends, our pit crew, our sponsors.
Having fun.
We get to ride.
Yeah.
And in this tour, you're going to look at the guys that you think are the really fast guys. They all got passengers. The passengers are a deficit. That weight on that right side is a hell of a deficit in a car. When you're talking 3,200 pounds, now you got a 3,500-pound car.
And the car reacts so different. The car reacts so different.
Put Stacy on blast. That's a lot of weight on the passenger seat.
Wow. Wow, Brian's about to die.
I'm not joking because my woman loves me, so I got no problem. So, but I'm just saying. So this tour, you guys are out there, the single drivers that don't have a passenger. You got an advantage in this tour. Yeah. You put the right side passenger. I bought a medieval hobby stock from Medieval, and when I talked to Jesse back there about my passenger going in here, he was saying, "You guys in California are stupid. These cars ain't designed to put a passenger in the passenger seat with door bars, all that weight. We bring everything left side, not the right side. You guys in California look at this shit all wrong." So that's just how much of a deficit we're going against here. But we're still doing it. Brian's got a passenger. I got a passenger. I think Tom Gomez is going to have a passenger. Philip Shelby, hottest shoe on California. Philip Shelby, he's got the car on a passenger. And he's not heavy, but he's not light. A lot of these guys got passengers. So this is going to be a good tour, boys. I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. It's going to be safe. We're not going to put up no bullshit. There's not going to be no fighting. Hopefully we catch all the cheating. And this is going to have some fun. We ain't racing for $1,000. We're racing for $500. It's fun. It's a friggin' hobby.
Nobody's making money.
Yeah, this is fun.
Absolutely.
We're doing this for every tracks.
So I put the finger up from Stacy to Brian. She put the finger up for you. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm at Brian's house. And Stacy's home, so I'm at Brian's house here doing this together. So, but let's go have fun, guys. This don't have bullshit. It's
right.
not.
Nobody's going to NASCAR from this shit. Just go out, have a good time, dude. Just enjoy it. You got the other thing is kind of like what JB was saying. When my son started racing, he's 12 years old, and I put him in a hobby stock at Placerville. I put a passenger seat in because we're trying to get Scott Russell and I talked, and we were trying to get the high school nights, to where you get some high school kids in there, and I wanted my son to take a couple of kids, just like JB said, on a hot lap session to get these younger kids interested into racing and things like that. And then to see a 12-year-old driving them around that track, and they're in high school and stuff, it's like, get them fired up about getting a car, a mini stock, whatever. It doesn't matter. A hobby stock, just get these kids interested in it, because we are all getting older, and it's like without another generation coming up and doing it, it's all going to die, you know. And
exactly.
Unfortunately at Placerville, you know, their insurance wouldn't let us run passengers, which may be why that might be part of the tour problem too. I know Scott was really not happy that he didn't get a part of that sport mod tour, because that was a good deal, and I'm sure he's probably going to try to figure something out, hopefully for next year, because that is a great place to run. You know, that track's a lot of fun.
He could have had one, but he didn't want one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Davey Boy Munoz says Davey Boy will be at the opener at Stockton to give JB a kiss on the cheek.
There we go. Davey Boy's the best.
Yep. So something you're bringing up with the hobby stocks, and I think this is a big thing that we need to see implemented back, and I don't know how the track promoters would feel about that. I know just a few years ago when I first got back into racing and all, having intermission time with the kids, with the hobby stocks, you can take 4 or 5 kids and go idle around a lap while they're riding in there and give them that first thrill. Most everybody, when you talk about it, they got taken and they thought they were just going around the track so fast they were just idling because of all the noise. That brings up the next generation of fans. That brings in the next person that may want to get into a car and drive. It's little things like that that we as racers need to do. Another thing we need to do is, if y'all are enjoying this show, reach down and hit the share button. Right down there on the bottom of your page is share. Share this out. Let everybody see what we're talking about, because everybody that you see on the screen right now loves racing. JB just loves to talk shit about it, blow it up. Brian Cooper, he's being awful quiet over there, but he's been in racing 30, 40 years. His family, him and his, I think, Todd's your brother, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know the whole family dynamic, but y'all traveled together with 2 sport mods and kicked ass all over the West Coast.
Todd, my dad, Dave, my grandpa, Hartley Cooper is the one that got us into it years ago, and we've been going ever since.
Yep. So, you know, you got a whole family playing. You're talking about Philip Shelby. He's another one, big shoes that's coming up. Jay's bringing up the next generation out of his family. He's got 2 or 3 kids that are involved in racing. Yeah, grandkids that are involved in racing. Robert Baker at VIP Medical Concierge has got his daughter in a go-kart working on it. He's also a major sponsor for Jerry Flippo out of Bakersfield. You'll see him at the track this year. If you're there, take advantage of his IV hydration, especially if you're in Stockton in July. God, you will love it.
Yeah.
So, and with the Tristate, we're building it up this year. We've got Jay coming up on board. We got Speed Union on board. We got Scribner Plastics on board. PEM, Winning Attitude Motorsports. We're giving away a quick change to the champion this year. We got a fire suit or a helmet coming from.
Pyrotech or not Pyrotech?
Pyrotech, yeah, Pyrotech.
Yeah.
I had a brain fart. I'm getting old too, so we'll leave it at that. We have traveled all over this year to bring sponsors into this. Travis Peterson Racing is bringing in some people to bring some stuff in from Nevada. Phil Marino's a big supporter of the Prostocks. I know in the past we've had Joe Carr, we've had Fred Baker at Baker Race Cars. There's just tons of people that help put this all together, and these are all racers. Most all the money that supports the Tri-State and everything comes from racers. The same with y'all's guys. Y'all's sponsors, almost all of them are racers. Big sponsor for y'all's tour, said right there. We just talked about him all night. He's a racer. He's supporting your tour. You know, and that's what I like about racing, is the camaraderie with everybody when we go to the racetrack.
Hey guys, so the tour races are being, if you can't come to the race itself, or it's too cold to come to the race, or it's too muddy to come to the race, Speed Union TV, you can subscribe for the year. It's how much?
It's $199 for the year.
$199 for the whole year. It will be taping and doing live our tours, the West Coast hobbies. It'll be doing the Tri-State Pro Stocks. If you guys ain't seen a Tri-State Pro Stock race, them things are badass. They've barely got any rules. They're some badass alcohol burning.
Yeah, let's see.
Southern Oregon,
a lot of tracks, yeah.
Stockton 99, Stockton Dirt Track. So,
it's worth $199, guys. It's
Antioch Speedway. I forgot about them too. Good Lord.
Yeah.
You can sit on Friday nights and Saturday nights and watch Speed Union TV. Jay, I want my cut a little later. Speed TV. You can watch it, and they got. I mean, it ain't ESPN, but they got pretty damn good coverage. But
it's last
not
year
like
was
being at the track. You're at the track. You see this side. You see that side. You see straight ahead. The camera can only see one at a time. So you do miss stuff by not being at the track. But if you can't be there, the coverage is damn good to be done for $199 for the whole year. Go to dinner 6 times, guys. You spend $190. Well, 3 times nowadays. You spend $199. So
well, yeah. And last year was the infancy. Roy and I. This took off way faster than him and I ever expected it would. And you know, Roy does a lot. He does all the camera work and everything. And like I was teasing him earlier, he didn't know nothing about how to turn it on. Now he's got mixing boards and doing all kinds of wild and crazy commercials and shit. And it's been great. And last year was the first year we did. We started it this time last year, and March I think is when we got going with it. And we had to learn a lot. We had some, road bumps, but
I'm going to make y'all laugh. I am in a motel room in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to stroll around so y'all can see all of this. This is the computer set up right here, mixing board, internet, all this set up right here. And I can tell you, my wife, if she's still listening, will attest to this. She almost killed me before the season was over. I didn't even know how to create a damn folder on the computer. She's like, how can you do all this, but you can't open a damn folder on the computer? What is wrong with you? It's like, I don't know. No, Jerry, Mijo, this is not the No-Tail Motel. This is the trucking motel. It's at Jubit's Truck Stop, the Portland End. Great place. Can't talk about it.
Where's the landlady? Is she in the other room or what?
There is, dude, I'm here by myself. I don't have time for that shit.
So you're saying that hotel is not an hourly hotel? Is what you're saying.
This is paid for by Market Express. There you go. Roy didn't even pay for this, so there you go. I get to get out of the truck and have a shower before we come on here tonight. So,
hey, so you guys on this Speed Union TV subscription, I'll give you the link. It's www.jbracing.com. I'll send your money to that link and we'll get you the site.
Now
you're being provisional.
So now after he said that, his cow's going to get cloned and it's going to go to Israel or somewhere like that. So,
Brian, what do you got to say else about the tour? Anything else we got? We pretty much covered. I think everything
covered it pretty much.
Yeah, I think so. They just have fun, guys. And I tell you what, Stockton, if it don't rain out, which I hope it don't, but it's not looking real great. But if it don't rain out, man, you guys, if you got a chance, either get Speed Union and stay home in your warm house and watch it. It's going to be a great show.
It's going to be awesome.
Big cars. We're expecting 35 or 50 cars to be there. We got 50 numbers signed up. We got more that haven't signed up yet.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you've got the West Coast hobby stocks that are going to bring 30 to 50 cars. I can almost guarantee you. You got the Tristate Prostocks. I know we have Oregon cars coming, all that. We're looking probably 25 cars realistically. You got the West Coast Sport Compacts that are going to bring 20 or so cars. And then you got the dwarf cars that always show up with 20 or 30 cars.
NorCal dwarf cars. So they're
those guys run deep. They run deep. Yeah.
Okay, that is 100+ cars and not a single modified, sport modified, sprint car, nothing. To me, that's cool. Yeah. And I'm calling right now, and I'm just going to stir the pot. You've got a young man he's already getting his gears in for his car. He's coming to Stockton Dirt Track, said it's next up on his list. I'm going out on a limb right now and tell you he's winning your first tour race. And I bet you don't even know who I'm talking about.
You talking to us?
I'm talking to you.
Well, there ain't no out-of-towner going to win our tour race.
He's not an out-of-towner. He lives in Stockton. He lives in Stockton, so you're the out-of-towner, sir.
Who the hell lives in Stockton? He must not.
Ty Carlson.
Who?
Ty Carlson. He put a hurting on the hobby stock field at Antioch the first time he drove a dirt car.
Oh, I remember somebody talking about that at Antioch. Yeah, I saw him. He was a little fucking short. He wasn't there.
Speaking of first time driving a dirt car, I think I beat this old guy right here in my first race in a dirt car, a street stop.
Hey, you see how Brian cleaned that up right there? Did you catch that?
And did it in the wrong gear.
So,
Brian, he said JB had his car wound up, still couldn't. He's like the little Nash Rambler over there, whooped up on the old man.
Wow. See? What's his name? Ty who?
Ty Carlson drove a late model over at Stockton 99. I got to meet him this year. Super cool guy. Always first, second, or third in the late model class. He is running this hobby stock this year, and he's already set up to run the tour, and I'm calling it now. He's going to win your first tour race.
So
deal.
sign up the money.
Good racers on the tour. That's what
Yeah.
I remember Andy talking about him that while there was somebody talking about him one race I was watching, and they said that it was a new guy, and I think he did win that night there, and
Yep. I got shunned for saying that the asphalt driver was going to beat all the dirt. They looked at me like they was going to beat me in that tower up there for saying that. And what did he do? He went out there and won. I think he led every single lap.
Was he in his own car or somebody else's car?
His car.
So he's got a car done.
Yes, sir.
What number?
Give me 1 second. I'll tell you. And I only talk this because I met the guy this summer, and he's a super cool guy. And in that dirt car, he's taking that asphalt, and he is smooth as glass on that racetrack. I'm telling you. And I have some news to announce. There's a very good, strong chance that you'll be seeing somebody at Stockton Dirt Track in a Prostock that we haven't seen in quite some time, too.
He's a doctor, isn't he?
He's a doctor.
A dentist.
No, he's a chiropractor.
Chiropractor, that's right, yeah. Another good driver.
Yep.
Another damn good driver. Yeah, good driver.
As soon as it's confirmed,
Go ahead.
as soon as it's confirmed, I will put it out there. But I think there's a good chance. He was driving the number 7 late model at Stockton. He doesn't have a picture of his hobby stock up there. I don't know what the number, but there's some videos from him at Antioch. So, but yeah,
he won a hobby stock at Antioch dirt kart race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the 14. It's the 14.
Yeah.
Right
I think he got DQ'd in Tech, I think, for having a street stock.
I was gonna say he's got Richard headed over to his pit before they even start the night.
Yeah. Richard, check 14, please.
Somebody just put out there. Ty has got to get to my Jerry and I first to win that race. LOA. It'll be cool for him to get that second place. Sexy Stacy already jumping in with both feet. And then somebody put on there, JB's running out of towner rules.
Somebody asked me. I took my car to the track. It's a little noisy. It's a little out there. My new car got my medieval, and somebody asked me what rules. Oh, is it director of competition in Marysville? What rules do you think you're running with that? And I said, JB Speedway. What do you think? So I bought a Speedway, and now we got JB Speedway on the tour. So I'm good.
Yeah, that was Joseph Gillick saying JB's running out of towner rules.
Yeah.
So
I definitely am out of towner rules. I am.
But I had to call you out on there. I said, ain't nobody gonna beat me on my home track. That's his home track. He lives in Stockton, sir.
Yeah. But I'm not going on the asphalt track to race with him. So.
Yeah.
Now, we're looking forward to beating him, I'm right.
Yeah.
Fucking hey, no problem.
Well, I'm calling it now. Yep, and Jay is bringing out his car to Stockton for the season opener, and I think you need to bring your Pro Stock because you run your mouth about Leroy Hudson. I hear there's a good chance he's bringing a Pro Stock down to Stockton too. So
yeah. I already beat him once. I don't need to beat him again.
Oh, okay.
We're the one right now. You don't need to go no more. Hell, that's good enough.
I think he put his tail between his legs now. He's going back the other way. He's running back to the porch.
Hey, tell him you're ready to get a hobby stock. Come on out and see us.
Well, he bought an IMCA stock car, so IMCA stock car, as I keep getting reminded. IMCA's not right. It's IMCA.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
IMCA stock car. Yeah, we're not. Jay, you're running the hobby, right? In the tour?
Yeah, we should be bringing on that race. Should be bringing my Pro Stock. I'm bringing the wife's car, and my buddy Sean's bringing his car with us. So my hauler holds 3 cars. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's bringing all these cars. Everybody's bringing the cars. Should I bring my helmet and fire suit? Somebody has got one I can get in and drive, right?
Well, shit, we've got 5 helmets, 10 fire suits. Shit, we got a closet full of gear for all these people. Shit.
This is all new. I hadn't got to wear it yet. So, hey, I'm ready to come down there and get it dirty.
Hey, so Roy, in Stockton here, you got me parking, Bryant parking. Let's make sure Jay's right there, too. because we want to be close to the parts truck.
Jay's right across the parking lot from where we're setting you up. We already talked about that. He's going to be close enough that you don't have to get winded to walk over there and get some parts.
Let's be clear. I'm not Fred Ryland. I ain't bringing that kind of shit. I've just got some stuff in there if guys need it. So just so we're clear. Yeah.
Hey, so all you guys that have not run Stockton Speedway yet, okay? If you've never been to Stockton race track, Bryant and I'm an old fat guy. I ran my Prostock. Last time I ran Prostock there, I finished third. Had to go to Tech. And I was worn out. I went to Tech, and the Prostock at that time, you had to Tech each other. I had to check room and whatever, right? And they went to scale the car. I said, dudes, you know what? My car's plenty heavy enough. I'm wore out. Somebody bring my car to my pits when you're done teching it, because I can't hardly stand no more. That track wore my ass out. So come prepared at that track, because it's not running like running Antioch. It's like running Marysville. It's a big, hard track. It's going to be rough. So be ready, because you're going to have your hands full. This is Stockton's. It's a good track, but you're going to be tired when you're done. I don't give a shit who you are. You're going to be tired when you're done.
A 20-lap main event's the same as a 30, 35-lap main event somewhere along the way. It's a big track. Jake Archibald says, what gears are you thinking on a crate at Stockton?
Oh, I don't even know that.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't mind telling people, because like I said, I like helping racers. So for me, I ran my car with dirt bosses, which are a little bit taller than the G60. So I ran mine, and I ran a 6.0 gear. And between the flag stand and turn one, my car was nosing over. The next time I came back, I had a 583 in it, and I went from 24th to 2nd and spun out in the last corner trying to run down Les Friend, and the car handled really well. So I mean that was the gear ratio on a crate with a 4412 that I ran, and my car handled well. So, and I was running a 1-to-1 transmission. So 6.0 was a little too much for me. A 583 was good. So that's my ballpark. I mean, I'm bringing the wife's car with
bosses, correct?
Yeah,
that's what dirt bosses. So they're a taller tire.
A lot taller.
Yeah, well, and I know with the Oregon cars, and I haven't driven mine down there, but I've talked to Flowers and all them stuff. A 67 or an 83, depending on how much you want to tax your motor.
That's pretty close. We're going to go.
Yeah.
30.
Stacy says, Roy, I'll let you ride passenger with Jerry for hot laps, and he'll put the fairing wing on top just for you, LOL. If you do, we can get a media promoter vision over the A-main.
Hey, provisional to me, baby. I don't care.
All right, so Stacy, since you're riding passenger, Jay and I have talked about this. I'm throwing this out right now. What would you say about riding with one of our cameras in the car and recording it from the camera?
Yeah,
I don't think this machine are rated.
I don't care.
All right, well, there you go.
We just need the video feed. We'll take the sound from the announcer. We'll just cut her sound out. It's just going to be the video footage.
Just to give people an idea.
It's mounted like on the dash and have voice activation, or she can't hold it.
I sat there and held one when we were out there at the drift track and still was involved in a wreck riding passenger. I'm just going to say.
I think, well, let's see what she says. She's on there, I'm sure. I don't make shit to me. If she wants to do it, I'm good with it. Good with it, yeah.
We're going to get a little extra insurance for that camera, though, before we go out.
Yeah, no shit. If I don't do good shit, throw it. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, she got to flip somebody off. If somebody gets into you, she got to throw that son of a bitch at them.
Yeah, Joseph Gillick said that would be Comedy Central right there.
Yeah. So a gear ratio, guys, what we're thinking on the gear ratios for the open motors that you want to twist anywhere from 6,200 to 6,600, you're going to be looking at with the G60s, a 6.0 gear, 620 gear. I'm going to run a 633. I think you're going to run a 620.
I'm going to go with the 620.
I'm going to run a 633.
But they're telling me they want me to turn 62 to 64, and with the crate, maybe probably want to be around 62. So I don't know about the 580.
Well, my understanding with the crates is that like 5,800 they start nosing down. They're flattened out. But
you're buying the wrong crates.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but mine's a GM crate with it sealed and all that shit. And
you ain't got a cheater crate.
Yeah, no, I got an original OG crate.
Yeah, well, Stacy says, well, I tried doing with that my phone and my MF-ering got way out of hand, but no shame to my game, and I'll hold your camera. That didn't sound correct, so we're not going to go into that very much further. So we're going to stop right there. But Jerry Miho Quindana said Jerry Stewart would give me a hell of a ride. There's something I'm going to say. Can we make sure the lug nuts are tight on there before we go out? That's all I need to make sure of. So that's an inside joke with Miho there. So, but yeah, Stacy, we'll talk when we get down to Stockton because we may do something. I have a couple of different ideas. We have some GoPros. We have some other ways to do some stuff that might be easier. Yeah. So, but yeah, I would like to get some in-car of all that stuff. I think it would be fun. I got an LOL out of Miho now. So now it's time. We've been long enough. I can say something now without it. Every time I say that, he's always like, it's too soon. So.
Yeah.
Hey, did Gordy ever come on?
No, I never saw anything from Gordy. I've been watching very diligently all night.
All right.
So, all right, well, guys, we've been an hour and a half, so we went a little longer than normal, and I know Jay wants to get home. He's in his office still.
Yeah,
so
it's all good.
Yeah.
Anything y'all want to add to it? You want to thank all your tour sponsors there, Jerry?
Try to get signed up. Was it the new members ain't signed up yet? Try to get signed up before we get to the track because we got a lot of shit to do at the track besides racing. If we really don't want to sign members up the track, we don't have to. We'd rather do it before if we can at all possible. Venmo Brian. I don't think it's the Venmo on our page. Your Venmo?
No, I don't know. Yeah, just reach out to me or Jerry
on message.
I want to hold off actually until.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving Sunday to go on vacation for a week to Aruba, and I got that raffle going for Peckham's Sport Mod. So I don't want to get all the money mixed up. So hold off on sending any memberships at this point until I get back from vacation, which will be on the 12th.
So is that when I can pick up my car? Is that when I can pick up my car on the 12th or what?
JB, they got a few spots left. I'm going to see if JB will sponsor Speed Union a spot in that raffle. Let him pay for me a spot in that raffle for that Sport Mod.
It's full.
Sport Mod's full up, right?
Sport Mod's full.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't yesterday. That's all I see. I seen the post yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one guy getting paid.
We only got we got like 5 people that are going to pay first thing in the morning, so I'm hoping to draw that tomorrow, probably tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there, maybe, hopefully.
Number 30 is my number, so everybody pray for me. I get the car, all right? Then you got one race me in a hobby stock.
Hey, that Sport Mod would look so nice with a 92 on the side of it. The way the body lines are, it's perfect. It fits.
It will
just
be
right.
for sale if I get it.
Chad Hammer says if Stockton is canceled by weather, will it be rescheduled?
No.
You know, Chad, I really think this year that I don't know about with the hobby stock tour, but I think that we can get it rescheduled. Tony, if you look at the Stockton Dirt Track schedule this year, he had a new deal with the dirt track. You're going to only see 5 races throughout the summer. So there's a good chance that it could possibly get rescheduled. I'll have to get with Tony and get the final.
But only on the Tri-State side.
Yeah.
Not the West Coast.
We can't because we got to stay away from everybody else's point season until we get it.
If any race is canceled for us, it is just canceled. No rescheduling anything.
Hey, how about this? You get a canceled race, you could use that as your throw out.
There you go. You get throw away for a canceled race.
See?
That's a businessman thinking there.
Right?
So we want to give a big shout out to Jay for all of his sponsorship. Rick Workman at Workman's Communication. Robert Baker, VIP Medical Concierge. Scribner Plastics, PEM. Pyrotech. Oh, Lord, Lyle Hopper at Winning Attitude. There's so many people that have been involved with this year with making it. If I miss them, I got to get a list together so we can go over them every weekend because I forget. But lots of great things getting ready to happen in 2023 with the West Coast Hobby Stock Tour and the Tri-State Prostock Tour. I can't wait to see everybody at the racetrack. We will have a media section set up at Jay's trailer when we go to Stockton. Drivers, I'm telling you right now, we are here to promote you.
And your sponsors.
And your sponsors.
Yes.
Get your ass over to the media stand. Sit down. I don't care how shy you are, how much you don't want to talk. Come spend 1 minute, 2 minutes with us. Let us get your sponsors. That way we can give them the credit that's due through the stream.
Because here's what Roy and I have discussed. What I can't stand, JB, you and Sexy watch it all the time. Brian, you do too. When they do track prep, you're looking, not that, I mind, but you're staring at an American flag all the time. You ain't looking at nothing else. What we're trying to do is during dead time, track preps, whatever's going on, we want to run all the drivers. We want to run them with their sponsors. So their sponsors are getting their shout outs. Without sponsors, none of us could do what we do. You need to support your sponsors, okay? Don't get on Facebook and go, hey, I'm racing, get your name on my car. What the hell does that do? Support your sponsors, shout them out. So what we want to do is run these drivers, like, hey, I'm Jay Bryant. I run the 92, Prostock and, Speed Union TV, Jay's Mobile Welding and Fabricating. That's all you got to do. We're not looking to sit down and, go over your life history. We want to run as many of those as we can during dead time. Your sponsors are getting named out. People are going to know who they are. They're going to go start visiting their businesses and helping their businesses stay afloat. So we're trying to give back to people that are helping. That's the whole goal. So don't take that as, I don't feel like doing an interview, because what you're basically saying is, fuck my sponsors, in my opinion. That's what you're saying. So man up or woman up, go over, just say who you are. It's not a big deal, So that's the idea behind it. That's what we're trying to accomplish.
Definitely.
So I'm just going to tell you some quick little facts about what we're doing on this media, and this will give you an idea of what we're doing, and this is why we're harping on this so much. Speed Union streamed to 122 countries last year. Okay,
our first year.
Not cities, countries. Okay, this show that we're doing right now tonight, this is right off the Media Insights on Up on the Bars discussion. You have no idea. Top countries. These are just the top. Actually, I'll put CL so you can see this, because this is going to blow you away. I'm reading this right off the page. United States, Australia, Bangladesh, Canada, Cameroon, South Africa, Nigeria, United Kingdom, Myanmar, Pakistan, Belgium, Afghanistan, Nepal, Mexico, Philippines, New Zealand, Brazil, and Costa Rica. This is the platform. Right now, as we're talking, this is where this is going out to that are watching this. I'm thrilled by this, because I'm telling you, and I kind of self-deprecate with all this, and I don't do it. It's whatever.
Well, do that in the bathroom.
Not deprecate. I'm an idiot with a computer in a truck. I'm telling you, I called JB on the first one. Hand to God, JB will attest this. The first subject that was talked about on this show, Porta-John etiquette at a Saturday night racetrack, telling dudes, you have a place to piss, don't piss on the seat. It was started out as a half joke, and it's built to this. We got people all over the world. Your sponsors want to get that recognition. When somebody wants to buy something out of the United States, there's a good chance your sponsor is going to provide it to it. That's what we're here for. That's what this is all for. So don't be afraid to talk to us. We're not going to pick on. I pick on JB just because I have to beat him to the punch, because if I don't, he'll do it to me. So, I know Brian, and I was told all along, Brian doesn't like to get on here and talk, but he's been yapping away over here tonight too. So see, JB, I told you we'd get him talking.
Done a good job.
Yeah. So, but thank you guys for tuning in and all that stuff. I had a ball, and don't forget to hit that share button down there. Let's build this up. Let's bring all these people in here.
Hey, Roy.
Yes, sir.
We got one more thing we want to do. We want to go over our sponsors if we can.
Oh, there you go. Please do.
So, as everybody knows, our title sponsor is the infamous Speed Union TV and Jay Bryant's Mobile Welding and Fabrications.
Yep.
Jay, with Speed Union and his welding shop, is paying the whole championship fund of $5,500 out of his pocket for us, for you guys. Thank you very much for that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Our premium sponsors, Brian Cooper, Custom Scaled Creations. If you guys want a slot car I don't know. I guess slot cars, RV cars, what else?
Just little bodies that I paint up.
He paints these things, and they're
Nice.
so badass. They are all badass. No vinyl. They're painted. This is what he's doing as a side deal, making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So we got him at Custom Scale Creations. Naturally, you got me at Valley Pump. Randy Miller at R&J Landscaping. Dave Larrabee at Mac Tools. Okay, Mac Tools. Dave Larrabee's got a Mac Tool truck out of Corning. He's donating a $200 tool of some sort off his truck every race for a drawing.
That's awesome.
Okay, plus he's doing top 10, some prizes in the top 10 at the banquet also. So, you know, this is a single guy, single truck, Mac Tool guy, and a racer in the tour, the Hobby Stock Tour, donating that. So we appreciate that a lot. Our associated sponsors, Brian Mack from Max Auto Body, Dave Cooper from Cooper Racing, John Johnson from John Can Fix It, Todd Gomez from All Spec Sheet Metal, which he does all kinds of shit.
Oh, he's an awesome guy too. Big time.
Rob Gallagher at 1 Hour Drain. I don't think they're going to have a Hobby Stock in the tour, are they?
Yeah,
He does have one.
they got a couple of them.
His
So
son's
that's
running
yeah,
one, right?
real
They're a
glad
good
to
group.
have them on board.
Gallagher's,
they're a
I'll tell
good
you what,
Yeah.
they came out here with factory cars a few years back with the stock cars and stuff, and they've really promoted the factory race cars, Hobby Stock and stuff for our area out here, and they're great friggin' competitors, man. Garth Moore, insurance company, he's out of Princeton, California. He has sponsored Sprint Cars Forever. He did our Sport Mod tour with us, and he came on board on our Hobby Stock tour with us also. We appreciate that. Rich Dozier. Everybody knows Rich Dozier from Performance Auto Supply in Marysville. He's donating a Hoosier tire at each race for a giveaway for all the
That's
7 races. A Hoosier G60. Lyle Hopper from Winning Attitude Motorsports. You know, he's big in tri-state pro stocks, and he's going to do an Aero wheel at every giveaway at every race.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay, then we got some contingency sponsors. It's going to be Ken Reiche, which he's riding passenger. He owns the car that Philip Shelby owns that is going to drive for him. Ken Reiche owns it. He's got a backhoe service. Valerie Merritt, they have Man Cave Steel Solutions. They are sport mod racers, the Merritts. They're from down south. Jesse Van Rokel from East Street MX Park, Motocross Park. Les Friend, Performance Muffler. Yeah, I tell you guys right now, he's one of the contenders to win this Hobby Stock race.
Oh yeah, he is.
Him and old Holbrook also. They got a third car coming out of the shop. I don't know who it is. I'm not sure who the third car is, but he said he's got
I hope it's not Flippo. I don't need to race. That guy's too damn fast.
Flippo went to Iowa. Flippo went to Iowa.
Yeah, he's
So
going.
they had another car last year that was running Petaluma with them, so I think it's that guy. So he's
Yep.
good too.
So Fred Ryland is going to be from Ryland Racing. He's another one that does a lot of stuff for a lot of people. He's the one supplying my illegal shocks for me, so I'm good there. He's supplying gift certificates, $50 at each race. And then Josh Combs from 1-2 Wraps, his sponsor on logo design, decals, victory banner, design and wrap, mini door, design and wrap. And then nationally, our 50 members, comes out to $5,000 in membership money. So that
Got over $29,000 raised for this.
in how long? In 4 months? 4 months?
It took us about 5 weeks to do that. We didn't go after people. Most of them all called us because they knew what we did that Sport Mod tour.
Yep,
they don't, we don't fuck around. We're doing it right. We're going to be nice trophies, nice awards, nice banquet, fair racing. And these guys called us. We want to get on board with it. I don't think we hustled. I went after Garth Moore just because he's not doing racing. Why would I him? He's my insurance guy to start with. So, but other than that, I think pretty much everybody pretty damn well paid us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Speed Union is also looking to pick up and do advertisement for companies during the stream. If you want to get hold of it, get hold of me and Jay. We can actually make commercials for your business. I've been showing Jay some stuff that we've been doing for the last
great
week.
job. Great job.
For somebody that didn't know the first thing about editing a video or voice, trust me, you have no idea. And I've gotten pretty solid of it with it. We can make your commercials. We can run them. We're looking to add to that. If you want to support the Tristate Pro Stock Series, we're always looking for more people to step in. We'll certainly talk about you. As you see on here, we'll give you plenty of airtime between the podcast, the streams, everything else. We're here for you. We're out to promote all this stuff and build it up. I just haven't built the connections in racing yet. So JB's got 40 years of connection. Roy's got 5. So
Yeah, you got good.
Yeah.
Hey, so Jay,
Yes, sir.
Brian brought up a point that he was going to do a special tribute to our title sponsor and premier sponsors on the car in his wrap, but his car doesn't need a wrap because he didn't really get in much trouble last year. Fast as hell, stay clean, so he's not re-wrapping his car. So my car is getting ready to go get wrapped, and I dedicated the hood of my car to our title sponsor and premier sponsors, which would be Speed Unit TV, Jay Bryant, Cooper Custom Scales, Valley Pump, RJ Landscaping, and Dave Laird with Mac Tools. They're going
That's
on the
awesome.
And I've got your logo and everything because I got Mark Turkowski doing my wrap.
Okay.
He's got all your stuff already. So we're going to do that for appreciation, thanking you guys, our title sponsors, mainly for the big money they put out, which is a lot of money, especially Jay.
Yeah. Well, dude,
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I tell you what, dude, when that's done, I want to buy that hood. I want to hang it up in my shop.
So,
I can be for sale for $4,000, no problem.
All right. Shit.
so
All
I've
right,
been
I'm all for
missing.
wait. I'm all for a provisional now.
There
All
you
right?
go.
I got my vote in for a provisional. I
So,
appreciate that. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
all
I
right,
really
so
do.
I've got a ton of comments. They didn't come through here like they normally did. This is on a different one, so we're going to go through these and give them credit. Ron Crisafulli, I love your ideas. It's good for the sport to do a tour like this. My wife wanted to point out new promoters getting into it, which we mentioned Southern Oregon, but I didn't mention Travis Hoppus, especially Hoppus Motorsports. That's a conglomeration with them and Dane Smith, big time late model guy out here. They're doing tons to bring Southern Oregon. Who would like to see Roy as a track promoter? Oh, Lord, that's from my wife. And Keith Coburn says me. Thanks, man. Doug Lockwood, I think he's number 14. That's in reference to Ty Carlson. So Doug Lockwood's watching, promoter at Merced. So got to meet him. Travis Hoppies, when are them hobby stocks coming to Southern Oregon Speedway? Bring it up, Travis Hoppies, right there. When are they all coming up to Southern Oregon Speedway? So
Would love to. That's that track has really come a long way the last couple of years. Travis Peary does an amazing job with track prep. I will be up there with my sport mod for sure this year. The hobbies is just kind of tough, man. It's supposed to be a beginner class. We all know there ain't no such thing as a budget cheap thing in racing. Would love to get the guys up there, but it just wasn't able to happen this year.
well, and when we're talking about the tracks, some people know I'll say I was working with somebody, I don't know if he's the one that's name out there. We were looking at the possibility of doing something with Wairika. The season just came up too quick with everything that was going on. Wairika's setting dormant this year. I hate to see that because that's a great little place. Jason Finley with the Fair Board's been on here watching. Just stay tuned. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but stay tuned. Keith Coburn, see y'all at Stockton. Thanks for all of you. Ken Lloyd, love what y'all guys are doing between talk shows, special tours. Great bunch of guys and girls. Be safe out there, Roy. Robert Him, good job, guys, with everything. So thank you to all the series sponsors in the Tri-State Series. Roy, any chance we could do a printed list with all their names on them? Yes, there is, and we will get them up. Roy has gaffed that one off yet, so yes, we will get them all up. Yes, I messed up on that one. I planned on doing it, didn't get it done today, so I apologize. But yes, we will get them up, and they will be posted up on the page. So, but yeah, we're up there. That was from Michael Birch. So yes, but we're actually Justin Crockett at Brand Creative is going to have a contingency sponsor sticker packages made up, I believe. So everybody that runs with the series will get the contingency pack of stickers with Jay's, Rick Workman, all of that stuff, and it'll be on the cars.
You're talking about the Tri-States, though.
Yes, for the Tri-State Prostock series. So they will all be.
Sorry, I didn't clear my throat. But also, same thing like JB and Brian were saying. For the Tri-States, you guys, that you're going to run the tour with us, get with Lyle and get your memberships paid up sooner than later. It is a lot of work at the gate or at the track to do it and stuff like that. So definitely get with them and get with Mike Learn or Lyle and get your memberships paid up ahead of time. It does help. Like JB said, it's a bitch. I've never done it, but I watch it, I see it, and I can't do it. There's no way I could do the shit that you guys all do. I just can't.
Jay went to the first night of the promoters workshop, and
holy crap!
Him and his wife, they went to the casino the next day. They're like, "We're done with this. We're done."
Yeah, we had to get back, but yeah, we did go. Yeah. So my wife did not like gambling until after that trip, and she hit I'm gonna narc her off real quick. She hit a jackpot for like $1,800, and she was using my player's card because I got up and went and got a drink and came back, and she had my player's card, and she wins. The woman comes over and goes, I'm laughing at her going, yeah, you got to give her your ID. And the lady pulls out the card and goes, who's this? And I go, that's me. She goes, I need your ID. So I get the freaking $10.99 for winning the $1,800. The lady comes back and looks at me and goes, here, sign this. I sign it. She gives me my ID, my player's card, and hands my wife all the money.
Yeah.
She had you figured out right there.
Oh, man. I was like, damn it. So, it was
great. And Jay took us to dinner, and I got to tell you, I had the best steak I've had in my life at any restaurant, and it was at an Italian restaurant in the casino. Jay will tell you his wife said the same thing. It is the best steak I have ever ate in my life.
What happened the following weekend? My wife said, let's go on a date. I said, where do you want to go? Back to get one of those steaks. And that's where we went.
Oh, my God. It was phenomenal. And, I went to the Italian restaurant. I'm reading the menu, and I don't even know what any of this stuff is. I'm asking them, what is this? I don't even know what it is. So we get the steak. It's like, that's what I'm having right there. Yep. It's done.
Yeah. For sure.
But anyway. Well, thank you guys, and
all right, thank you guys. I'm looking forward to the tours, both of them. Gonna be a lot of fun.
And we will see you at the races in 2 weeks at Stockton Dirt Track. Tony Nicetti, the whole Nicetti group. I guarantee you, this is going to be a sight to behold there, and I am excited about this one. After we went through what we're figuring up car count wise and all that other stuff, we're fixing to do something that is, in my opinion, kick ass in the racing world.
Oh yeah, hell of a way to start the year. Yep.
Oh, so give me 1 second. I'll give you all the info on the track that day because I have it and I forgot to read it out. I had it pulled up earlier and then I started reading comments. All right, so I can't read everything on here. I don't have my glasses with me.
I was gonna say, you want to borrow these or?
Yeah. Pit gates open at 11 a.m. 3 p.m. The main gates open for people in the stands. Racing starts at 4 p.m. Starting early, get done before it gets cold, get out. I'm telling you, we're under strict orders from Tony that there's not going to be intermission, there's not going to be dead time. Hi, whoever peeked in on the corner there.
Ooh, my daughter.
So, Tony is all about getting everything done in 3 hours. We're going to have 100 cars. He wants to be done in 3 hours. He's adamant on it. He believes in giving you nonstop action. So be prepared. Pit passes are $40, all ages. Doesn't matter, car, owner, pitman, nothing. $40. You go in the pits, it's $40.
That's cheaper than most.
Yep. $20 for general admission, 13 to 64. $15 general admission for 5 to 12, and senior 65 and plus. So JB, side $5. So there you go.
Hey.
Yeah, see there?
Yeah, kids 4 and under are free. You can get your tickets at StocktonDirtTrack.com. Go to Stockton Dirt Track's Facebook page. They have the address if you haven't ever been there. Get there early to make sure you get a good pit spot. There's going to be a lot of cars there, so keep that in mind. So, here's another one. Let's get it rolling. Love the tour idea. Can't wait to have my boys run the series. I'm not sure who posted that up, but there you go. So, anything else from anybody tonight before we end it?
Good.
We're good.
I think we're good. I think it'll be
All
good
right.
enough.
Brian, I look forward to picking that car up tomorrow or the next day.
Oh, hey, there is something else, guys. Brian's leaving for Aruba next week, okay? So all you guys out there, the car's in my shop. $100 a person. You can come check his car out. You can look
Nice.
at all $100 a
Nice.
person.
No.
15 minutes.
No, but it's getting the motor changed from Guy Bean. So
Yeah.
I got it roped off so Jerry's not even allowed to look at it.
Yeah, I know how JB's shop is. He sells secrets. He sends me pictures all the time. I've seen some videos of his car rolling in. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yep.
I appreciate you guys very much.
Tristate guys, I don't know if he still got them or not. If you're looking for some wheels and tires, some 10-inch wheels and tires, message JB off here. He might have a deal for you.
Message me?
Yeah, did you say you had a stack of wheels and tires you didn't need any more that you were selling?
I sold all my 10-inch wheels I had, yeah.
Never mind then. I was trying to help you.
I got some on Brian Cooper's car to sell.
No.
Yep. David Munoz says, Brian, if you do come to Reno, let me know. I will take a drive there just to meet you. That's from Davey Boy Munoz.
You ever met Davey Boy?
Huh?
You ever met Davey Boy? Oh, cool dude, man. Cool Indian.
Yeah, cool dude. Beat
Cool dude.
cancer 3 or 4 times and still kicking and says screw it and gets out there and loves to talk about racing just like we all do.
Nice.
So, yep. So, all right, guys, have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.
Man. Appreciate you guys.
Okay, bye-bye.